gas has been up, but they say that it's been down for the last week, but it's not where it was pre-war levels. So let's kind of watch some clips on that and also clips on how people been feeling about that. Let's get right into it.
Will gas prices go down and stay down? Let's take the first part of that sentence first. They have been improving. Last week, you saw gas prices fall. They're about 24 cents below the post-war with Iran peak. Oil prices last week actually had the biggest one-month drop in about 6 years. So that's some relief in the near term. Gas prices start the week in about more than a dozen states, with the average below $4 in a dozen states. And now the nationwide average is well below $4.50 a gallon. Again, improvement, but some perspective here. Before the war with Iran began, about 4 months ago, you had the average price for a gallon of gas about $2.98. So recent memory for a lot of drivers and consumers is still that they are getting dinged at the pump, and they're very unhappy about it. So what happens next? Well, 4 months into this war, everything depends on when the Strait of Hormuz can open. And Patrick DeHaan, the senior petroleum analyst over at
I'm going to stop and interject and say the Strait of Hormuz is so important to the world's production of oil. I don't know how much you guys may know about it, but there's a clip where I'm sure you'll talk about it later. The Strait of Hormuz, pretty much, ever since that's been in awry and in flux, the production and the markets around it they're skeptical. They're in hysteria. They're hysterical, right? They're anxious. So you're going to get a lot of price hikes. That's just what's going to happen because people always try to stay ahead of what's happening in the market, and this is just another story of that.
Gas Buddy tells us that it could take a year to get back to, more than a year, to get back to pre-war levels for gas. And here's why. For every day that the Strait of Hormuz is closed, he estimates, his math is it could take maybe 7 days to get supplies back online and the supply chain back to normal. So you're talking at this point well into 2027, maybe 2028 before things get back to normal. So in the near term, when you look at relief at the gas pump, remember, it could be a bumpy road for gas prices, even with this recent relief. The war is 4 months long. It's all about progress toward peace with Iran and really getting the Strait of Hormuz open again. Will gas prices...
You want to know what it feels like to be a truck driver in Trump's America? There you go. There you go. It just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. This was yesterday, by the way. You want to know what the total was? You want to know what I had to pay for one fill-up? That much.
What was it? Damn.
Over $800.
Buddy's pissed. Oh, man. Yeah. Hey. Especially as a truck driver, man, some of these guys are just like self-contracted out and like self-employed. Some of these guys work for companies, but they all still feel the same, though, you know, depending on what their contractual agreements are. And when it comes to gas, man, I'm just telling you guys right now, man, not the business to be in currently, dude.
For one fill-up, and I wasn't even empty. I still had a quarter tank of fuel left. I was just being smart about where I filled up, and I went to the cheapest possible place I could go, counting the discounts that I get for working with the carrier that I do. And if you think that these trucking companies are just going to eat that cost, the goal is to make a profit. I'm out here to make money to feed my family. I can't just eat that cost, which means the freight rates have to go up, which means that it costs more for the manufacturer to ship their goods to the store so that you can buy it. And which means and the manufacturer's not going to eat that cost because their profits are too fucking precious. And we know the store isn't going to eat that cost because their profits are too fucking precious. So who do you think is going to end up paying the difference? I mean, you're already feeling it. Hell, the cost of the fuel in and of itself is a product of that system.
Not for nothing. I was just seeing his hand in the clip, and it looks like he got his hand smashed. I don't know if he was doing this line of work or previously in his life, but tough life, man. Just tough all over, dude.
But America first.
Supposed to be.
And the screwed up thing is the other day, and I'm sure a lot of you saw this, he said, I don't think about American families. Yeah. You want to?
Gas prices are going up fast right now. I mean, the national average just hit $4.48. And there are three things you need to understand before you believe anyone's political talking points. Because yes, politicians will blame whoever helps their side. But the real answer is a lot bigger than that. So in this video, I'm going to answer three questions. Why are gas prices going up in the first place? Why are gas prices higher in some states than others? And also, probably the most important question of all, what needs to happen for gas prices to go down? Because to be real, it's a lot more complicated than you think. So why are gas prices going up? Well, the biggest reason right now, and that we all know, is the spike in crude oil prices tied to the Middle East and the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz is not just some random waterway overseas. It is one of the most important oil shipping routes on Earth. So when there's fighting, threats, or disruption around that area, oil traders immediately start pricing in the possibility of a global supply problem. And when crude oil gets more expensive, gasoline gets more expensive. That is the first piece. But here's the part that people miss. It is not just about crude oil. Gasoline supplies are also tighter right now. Demand is rising because people drive more during the summer, but gasoline inventories have been falling. So you have more people needing gas while the supply.
Not for nothing, but I can look at that right there and tell you from the geographical background, the mountain, and then what that clip said, $8, $8, $8. Man, yo, that's California. That's Cali. And you know, I think we all know gas is insane out there.
Cushion is getting smaller. That is a bad combination. And when supply gets tight, prices at the pump move fast. Now, why are gas prices so much more expensive in some states than in others? This is where state policy and geography come in. Some states have much higher gas taxes and fees. Some states require special fuel blends for environmental rules. Some states are far away from major refineries and pipelines, which means it costs more to transport fuel there. And then you have places like California where all of those problems stack up on top of each other. High taxes, special fuel requirements, higher operating costs, a more isolated fuel market, and limited ability to bring in replacement gasoline when supply gets tight. So when gas goes up nationally, states like California usually get crushed even harder. Meanwhile, states closer to the Gulf Coast refineries usually have cheaper gas because they're a lot closer to the source. So no, it is not random. Your state's prices depend on taxes, regulations, supply access, transportation costs, refinery issues, and location competition. Now, what needs to happen for gas prices to come back down? There are really three big things. Number one, the Middle East situation has to cool down. If the Strait of Hormuz stabilizes and oil starts moving safely again, the fear premium in oil prices can start moving down. Number two, crude oil prices need to fall because crude oil is one of the biggest parts of what you pay at the pump. If oil stays expensive, gas stays expensive. And number three, gas inventories need to rebuild. This is the one most people overlook. Even if crude oil drops, prices may not fall immediately if supplies are still tight. Refineries need to produce more gasoline. Imports need to help fill the gap, and the country needs a bigger supply cushion heading into the summer. So the simple version is this. Gas prices are going up because oil is more expensive. Supply is tighter and demand is rising at the wrong time. Some states are paying way more because their taxes, fuel, refinery access, and transportation costs way more. And for prices to come down, we need the global oil panic to calm down, crude prices to fall, and gasoline supply to catch back up. So when someone tells you gas prices are only because of one particular thing, just know there are a boatload of factors that actually come into play. What are the gas prices in your state?
So guys, crude oil, gas supplies, prices, Strait of Hormuz, the conflict there definitely needs to cool off, as we're all in aware. But hey, that's all I got for today. Tell me what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you spending your time with me. Let's keep it going. Peace.